Good morning. I am higher vibrations and so are you. We've been out playing in the rain, so it's been a really interesting day of energy, hasn't it? Welcome, everybody. We're in the middle of a geomagnetic storm right now. We have a couple of solar flares on their way, storms all over the place. It's been really fun playing in the rain. I'm just echoing myself. Hold on a second. I see that there's some questions or comments that have already been posted, so I'm going to go to those really quickly. Hey, Vegan Vixens first, but Carmen, you're always first in my heart. And there's a little thing that going on here, everybody. This is Mariette says, her question is a Buddha belly conform the Ascension Symptoms and the 8-8 portal? I feel so fat. The Buddha belly has been really a big deal for a lot of people right now. Buddha belly is an example of like a swelling of the belly, water retention in the belly area. A lot of people have been having this lately, especially I've been too. It's really bizarre too, because then all of a sudden you'll look in the mirror and you'll pee a lot, and then all of a sudden it's just gone, and this is something that a lot of people have been having. I do know that right now, this area of creation, the manifestation chakra area, has been having a lot of activation. Man, my hair looks so funny like this. Normally, I try to straighten it out, but like I just was out in the rain. Um, anyway, so yeah, this is really common. I would say, along with a lot of things that are happening for people right now, that the Buddha belly has been a big thing. I'm seeing also too over here. Stacy says the same thing. The stomach contractions, like labor pain the last 2 days. Yeah. And also bloated. I know, like we're pregnant. I was saying pregnancy symptoms for a while there. And that also includes the mood swings associated with pregnancy, which is kind of funny. Um, and also we're noticing our bodies are kind of more demanding certain intakes. So there's cravings. It's really weird that we're having some kind of pregnancy symptoms going on. Let's see if I have any more comments before. Vixen says, Carmen, sorry, my friend, I was first. Yes, you were first, but Carmen is always first in my heart. That's kind of how it works. um, yeah, it's been such a good. Oh, thank you, Kylie. She says, "OMG, so happy. I was just thinking about you, Mila." Well, I'm really happy we're able to join right now. There's a lot going on. So, a lot of you know about the Perseid meteor shower, and we're having it. It started a few weeks ago. I can't remember anymore when it started. However, it technically peaks, so people don't really count it until it peaks. The peak of it will be on the 13th in the middle of the night. So like pre-dawn hours is usually the best time to see something like that. It's really cool because also that leads into the following day, which is the conjunction, the father son conjunction. So Zeus or Jupiter is Zeus, right? And then the father of Aries is Zeus. So we're having an Aries Jupiter conjunction within about a third degree, which is really close. So you're going to be able to see them together, like with binoculars or whatever. They're going to be within the same visual spectrum. So it's kind of cool to have those types of conjunctions happening. Something else that's really fun, and this is down the road, but I find it's really fascinating. You've always heard like once in a blue moon, this whole thing. And last year we are like, whoa, we got a super blue moon. That never happens. Well, guess what's happening again? That's not until, the Monday, the 19th. But that's pretty neat that we're having that happen at that same, like, okay, I guess it's happening again. There's something else that I wanted to bring up, and I took a screenshot so I didn't forget to say it, and now I can't find it right now this very second. It has to do with the eclipse. There we go. That's not until September, but the moon is going to be partial eclipsed on the 17th of September, and that's going to be at like 9:14 or something at night, Central Standard Time. We'll be able to see it, at least where I'm at. Most of America, the American continent, will see it, as well as a lot of others. So this is an Aquarian moon. A lot of people have been looking forward to it. I'm bringing this up because a lot of people are already talking about this, and they're kind of fear mongering. a little bit. And so I just kind of wanted to give some clarity to this. This is exciting. This energy coming in, like right now, we're in a solar storm. We have a lot of solar flares coming, and there's also fear mongering regarding this. And it's, at least for me, whenever I've asked into it, it's been excitement that spirit returns back with this topic. So it's really good, the stuff that's happening. So having to do with like the big event that people are talking about, we are in the big event. We're in the middle of it right now. It's coming in doses. And so yeah, it's a big event, but it's slow. And so it's not as impacting as we might think. There are going to be moments of things occurring that we'll notice, and it's going to be just fine. I asked this question a lot. I've been asking about this a lot because people keep bringing it up. And every time that it's really good. It's really exciting. So let's talk about some of the stuff. My back has been weird. Also the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet, the back. Let's talk, be very specific. Where our wings, so like the shoulder blades, this area of our back and the center of it, as well as the shoulder blade area, we're noticing a lot of energy moving through here. Whether or not it's actual wings that makes you fly, there's an energy that looks like wings that does in fact leave our body, or it's connected to our body. So leave our body is not the right wording, probably. Anyway, as this goes out of our body and kind of cycles back, it assists us to do a lot of different things in our environment. However, when we're not allowing this stretching out, this reaching, the stretching of the energy, it gets real knotted up right there and sore. And so a lot of people are noticing this, this soreness in the back and the shoulders area, as well as the lower back. The lower back's the one that was affecting me the most because of the shoulder area one I've had for a little while and have found my way around it. Pardon me. Excuse me. However, the lower back one really got me. It caught me off guard, and I was walking around. I felt like I was, I felt like I was 100, walking around real hunched over for a little bit. Just my back was just, and it's come and gone, but mostly it lasted several days. Like it was really noticeable by me. So that's something that was really going on for a bit there. The activations in the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. A lot of people are losing skin there, noticing weird peeling, tickly, pinchy, like almost like, I don't know, like it just zapped like electricity, but not too uncomfortable. It's just a very interesting sensation. Activations of the healing hands and connecting. The need to ground. Everyone talks about this right now. And it's kind of you almost get tired of hearing about grounding, right? But grounding is really important, especially when we're getting a lot of extra ions in the air during solar flares. Solar flares bring in a lot of positively charged ions. They're like full, right? And then as they do that, we find that to me anyway, it feels like kind of like tension energy almost. Just this fuzzy. It reminds me of the same thing that my body would go through when you would listen to the old school modem dial-up tone. Remember that dial-up tone? Some of you will remember that. Oh my goodness. And it just, well, the same thing happens energetically when we have a lot of positively charged ions. And so what we do is we put our soles, or the bare feet of our feet on the ground outside, or bringing soil into the house. If you can't go outside and do this, put your feet on the soil and the grass and the water, or whatever it is out there, sand and stuff. And what will happen is that your body naturally purges the positively charged ions. Gaia is happy to accept those ions and then replaces it with negatively charged ones. That's why all of a sudden we feel this peace, calm come over us. So this is something that we can really do right now to assist us in these experiences. Extra need for rest, super duper duper tired. Oh my goodness, the exhaustion is unmatched. Hi all, so much going on, feels wiped out. Yeah, I was just talking about tired. How much more can we take? Hi Vanya, it's good to see you. Yeah, I would say that each one prepares us for the next, kind of like a video game. And as we're doing this, it's a class, and that one class gets you prepared for the next class or the next course, and so as we're doing this, we're becoming more and more capable. You're actually establishing your mastery more than we all realize, right? We all are doing this. And so, yeah, though, the wiped out, allowing yourself to have the rest that you need as much as possible. Taking breaks doesn't mean that you're lazy. You know what I mean? Taking naps doesn't mean that you're lazy. My hair is really funny. I got to comment on it again. It's really wet. It's raining right here. We haven't had a storm for a while, so we were out playing in it. You can dance if you want to. It's been fun. Hi, Colleen. Good to see you. I love you. Um, on a good note, I'm manifesting money all day long. My business is so busy. I'm so happy to hear that, Stacy. That's the manifestation chakra is really coming online. People are manifesting left and right, and remembering to manifest from our heart center, from our heart chakra rather than our root chakra, from belief rather than desire, really amplifies the experience and kind of helps it to kind of balance into more balanced energy coming in. So that's something useful to know. Ralph, yes, Buddha belly and crazy itching, also vibrating at the core off and on. Yeah, okay. The vibrating in the core, let's talk about that for a minute, because we're conduits, right? We're allowing energy to move through us, up and down through us, right? And as we do this, we're bringing in more of this core center and allowing that to transmute, I guess is the word that people will use to what we're doing with it, but it's something more. It's like lovely acceptance, and it's sifting. It's the okay, I don't know why we're doing this, but they're showing the screen, like when you're in the fields and you're getting out all of the stuff that you don't want, and keeping the green behind, that kind of concept. That's what we're doing when it moves through us. Sometimes we have this vibration in the core as a result, I do anyway, as a result of interacting with higher frequency beings, energy that's really high frequency that my body's not familiar with. And this will create this vibration sensation, almost like an adrenaline, but just right there in the middle. It's very bizarre. So thank you for bringing this up. A lot of people are actually experiencing this. Sometimes I'll notice the vibrations specific to hands or like shoulders. There's more to it. We get this auto healing. We're healing ourselves right now. I know that sounds odd. We really are. All the code that's been coming in for me with my guides and stuff the past few days has been about, assisting our proteins to continue to multiply or manufacture themselves, and how to do that. This has to do with kind of slowing down the aging process in some ways, I guess, but it's not meant to be that, at least not in my goal. It's about healing. It's about being in centered bliss, and in this balanced place. Then you have a lot of cool side effects like, de-aging kind of symptoms, as well as a variety of other things. So I run off topic again. Vegan Vixen, just been told that I'm going to be a granny. Congratulations, Vegan Vixen. Granny Vegan. Granny Vegan. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm excited for you. Hello, Spiritual Seeker. Welcome. Good to see you. Hello, Soul Time and lovely Mila. Happy to be here with y'all. She said she meant to say Soul Tribe, I'm sure. So good to see you, Divine Feminine Rising. All right. Clay says, so solar storms, CMEs, stock market crashes, earthquakes, fires, Israel surrounded by her enemies, all prophecies expressing. A lot of this stuff was written, and though perhaps the person, the lens being used to tell the story maybe had their own motive, though, yeah, we're seeing all of the things that we're meant to see. Remembering, too, they use words like end of times when this is a beginning of times. Like we're assisting ourselves to move into a higher frequency. You could say a more correct state of being, because it's more balanced, and yeah, like there's a lot more to it too. There are other things in prophecies that are occurring just this week. As an example, the father and the son within a third of a degree. The father son conjunction that's happening on Wednesday is really a big deal in my world. So Jupiter is the father of Aries, right? Aries, I mean, excuse me, Jupiter is Zeus, and Zeus is the father of Aries. So that's the father son conjunction that's happening in Mars and Jupiter. And this is within a third degree. Every time there's a 3, it means something. So that's kind of fascinating. Base of spine has been yelping the last week. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the area I was talking about. This lower back area. A lot of us have already had what we call a Kundalini awakening, a Kundalini experience, where there's more to be done. We don't only have this one aspect. When in completion, we find that there's more to do. And so as we're doing this, we're noticing also gravity's shifting. I don't know how many of you've noticed this, along with a lot of other parts of it's like we don't really know where gravity is. It's weird. Like, that's what I mean when I say disorientation. It's like kind of like vertigo, dizziness, lightheadedness, and disorientation all together. It's because it feels like you don't really know where gravity's at, and I wish I would have brought a brush with me after the rainstorm. Don't know why I'm making a big deal about my hair. It doesn't matter. I've been having shoulder pains over the last couple of days. So this is exactly what I was talking about. I'm glad it cleared up now. He says later on, it's cleared up now. However, yeah, this is the wings. And again, whether or not the wings actually provide flight, that's not the point. At least in my experience, this has to do with the movement of energy. So it looks like it arcs out and comes back to our upper back. This is like our shoulder blade area. And this is a lot of us will feel like we've been carrying a backpack on our shoulder for too long. It's just like, oh, maybe on both sides usually, but not always. Sometimes it's just one or the other. Having this, when this occurs, it's really helpful to go into meditation. And when the energy of light of God comes down through you, to allow it to, when it gets to your heart center, when it gets to our heart center, whether it's coming through your crown or wherever, once it gets to the heart, it goes and goes where it needs to go, right? Well, when it does that, guiding the light, the energy through this area on our shoulder blades, out, around, and back again to loop back to us. It's weird to think, but each wing is the height of you times 2. So it's twice your height, one wing, so your wingspan would be 4 times your height. And so allowing yourself to visualize the energy going all the way out and then coming back and looping. And a lot of times it'll loop like a figure 8. And just as I said that, there's 88 people here and I've been on for 18 minutes. That's cool. So looping the energy like this, or you can either guide it out and then have it come back, and do this way. This will really assist in like the sensation of discomfort in the shoulders and the upper back area. It's really cool. It's really neat when you do it too. Because then you start to find out that those wings, it's like energetic extensions of you. You can actually interact with the world around you and touch things. It's really cool. I'm glad to hear that it's been cleared up since though. The fatigue, Vegan Vixen. Yeah, I'm so super tired. I've been sleeping. My kid's been sleeping. The world, everybody's just so tired right now. It's crazy. And I don't know if I see an end in sight, but at least we've been able to find moments here and there. The difficulty I'm facing is that I'm exhausted until it's time to go to bed, because we have been, so tired that we're sleeping later, and therefore bedtime comes later. So by the time the bedtime's actually here, I'm awake. Especially last night. I don't know how many of you felt it. There was a lot of energy coming through. The Schumann was spiking. We have solar flares. We're in a geomagnetic storm. I think that last I looked, I think it was just going down the last I looked, but it had gotten up to a G2 geomagnetic storm. And we're anticipating having geomagnetic storms pretty much all month. It's the 11th of August now, so we have a few weeks left of just pretty much constant energy coming in from the sun, from what's speculated by the scientists. Um, when I ground, little tiny bugs chomp on my ankles. I do it anyway. Yeah, this one is difficult too for me. On occasion, I'll find little energies, little beings pestering me. But I can say also, if this bothers you too much, I mean, when it's wintertime, at least where I lived before, I lived up north before, I would bring soil into the house. Usually I would have planters out there, or like big old buckets of soil that I'd grown something in. And I would just like drag that into the house and let it thaw. And then I'd play with it. Like I either put my feet in it. Doing this is only like takes about 5 minutes to do this grounding, or I would play with it with my hands, 10 minutes or so. And I mean, I encourage you to do both. It's fun, especially if you get little Hot Wheel like tractors and let yourself be in that child state and play. It really uplifts every aspect when we do this. So it's good to see you, Lynn. Um, my bones are knackered. Yeah, I like this. I like this word. I love it a lot. I always want to use the word knackered, but then I feel like that people are just going to tease me, so I don't do it. But I love knackered. Yeah, yeah. Like we're just super ready to stay in bed. Hello, Elsa. Good to see you. Oh, she comes on from Facebook and then YouTube. Look at you switching around, switcheroo. Good morning. Good to see you, Elsa. Yes, sell crystals, but helping people for 10 years is being returned in abundance. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Stacy. That is really great. You know, anyone who is able to assist others at this time are being called forward, in whatever way that's possible for you at this time, and I mean, not at the cost of yourself, finding the ability to find balance and to return to self, to fill yourself up. You can't feed from an empty cup, right? So after a while, we need to remember to go within and keep ourselves balanced. I'm sure that you're doing that. I'm just saying this is a general statement. And also says right there in the middle, centaur. Yeah. Hey, centaur. I like that. That's really funny. Um, let's see. Oh, and then also says lens, the lens to share, legend, lead, the genes. There's a lot about the genes right now, man, and how we are learning to replicate, to reproduce, to duplicate. I don't know the right word. The proteins in our bodies, how we're doing that is this finding this balance, as we're bringing in this energy from our sun. We're finding that we're being given the ability to return out of dormancy, the elements of us that were in dormancy. You know how they used to say that 90 to 95% of our DNA was junk? That was just asleep. It was dormant, and now it's coming out of dormancy. And so now scientists are finally saying, yes, it's actually something that's just not been awake. And so now that it's available, we're finding that as we connect to these genes, we're able to do more. We're able to it's gifts, it's spiritual abilities and things like that are coming online. While we do it, we have growing pains, right? We have growing pains. And so as we're going through these different ascension symptoms, they're always, for me, when they come in, yeah, they can be uncomfortable. I could be annoyed by it, though they're always exciting too, because like, oh, what's the present going to be this time? And so you could say that the discomfort is actually just unwrapping the paper, and sometimes unwrapping the wrapping paper isn't the most fun because you want to get into it. And it's like there's 18 million boxes on the outside. I think it's said in the Bible not to worry, as these things will all come to pass. Exactly. It's exactly right. It's exciting. It's exciting. Eric says, first half of 8-8, I was roaring like a lion and suddenly just totally done with this whole mission, right? And all about going home now. Yeah, I think a lot of us had that experience. Lionsgate was very interesting. We're still technically in the energy of Lionsgate now. I believe today is the last day of it, officially, though we're going to be feeling it for a little while. Not only that, we have a multitude of other things happening in the heavens and things that are still assisting us. We have a lot to kind of digest about Lionsgate. We had a lot that came in. I would say a lot of people also just said, F this, I'm done, and kind of pulled back, and um, I know that it's getting better, and I'm excited to see what happens, in the next couple of weeks and even months. Though this month right now is all about unwrapping the gifts. And September's more about, okay, now it's time to kind of see what gifts you have to play with and how to play with them, if that makes any sense. Elsa says, gravity is pre-sense, gift act ones. Hey, I was just talking about gifts. Thank you. I understand what you were saying too, Eric. I just kind of want to touch back on you. Remaining here is a choice. You got to mean it, and it's going to hurt. I would say that it's getting better. It's going to hurt less and less. And I understand where you're at. When we went through the March window, there was this real big message about this coming in. How all of us are making a choice, over and over again. We think that when we make a choice, we're kind of stuck to it. People use the word soul contract to imply that you're stuck, that this is what you have to do because you said you would, kind of thing. And I see it as more of a soul agreement, because agreements, you can change your mind, and so if this isn't something that is, we can choose still. We can keep making the choice, but I really do heartfelt hope that you continue to choose to be here. There's a lot of awesome stuff coming in right now. And I know that density that comes through with Lionsgate, the depression and the I just want to get the heck out of here stuff is common. We feel it. And I just would hate for anyone to, I don't like the word hate. I don't know why I even said that. However, I would, to leave right before the gift, you know what I mean? We're at the time where the curtains are opening. First we were in line at the theater, and then we were like getting our tickets, and then, we were finding our seat, and then we were, sitting and waiting impatiently. And then all of a sudden the house lights dimmed, get the warm sensation of popcorn in your lap. And then you start to hear the squeal of the curtains are opening, man. The curtains are opening. That's where we are right now. We're at we're at that part. And so for us to leave now would be very, it would be sad. So I hope you stick around for this awesome part. Think KP7 today. I'm wiped out. Fell asleep at 4 p.m. Yeah. It is some strong energy coming in. We actually have a couple more we're expecting. I was just looking at that. Peaking, one of them is going to be during this conjunction. I'm finding a lot of things converging on Wednesday the 14th. A lot of stuff kind of packing in on that day. So it's going to be interesting to see what that day is going to be like. There's going to be some fun things. We're already there, it's just that we're trying to learn how to find this balance. The fatigue is like nothing I've ever experienced. No interest and hardly moving. I have never needed so much sleep, but now that's all I want to do. I know, me too. I've been really, really tired. And I'm just like, I'm going to sleep again. Sometimes I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it, and then my daughter, she's on this kick of wanting to watch movies together. And I don't really watch movies. I don't have typically, so I'll try. I don't know how long I last. I mean, this is in the middle of the day too. We're not talking about late at night. I'll sit down. I'm like, okay, we're gonna watch a movie, and then before I know it, I'm hearing the end credits music's rolling. And it's like, whoa, sorry, kiddo. Knackered is an Aussie term too. I have to have a nap twice a day lately. Yeah, super tired. A lot of us are feeling this. My question is, says Barbara, I was researching it, and it says that the solar flares cannot penetrate the Earth's core or shield. So why does it affect us if that is true? Yeah, I don't know where that who I don't always trust science. Not, just because science doesn't mean it's true. You use your own discernment, though. I, uh, if that were true, then there wouldn't be any polar absorption. We wouldn't feel it. So, it perhaps it may not be it may be an intention to assist us, to help us to feel calm and to feel safe. I don't think that it was meant as a mean or for. I cannot think of the correct word right now, but anyway, I don't know why they tell us that. That's not true. So it does affect us. We feel it. We feel it before we even know it. It's happening, and then you look. And also, like, you'll look up on the website of, what's it called? This is one I frequent, spaceweatherlive.com. There's a couple of different ones. And so you'll look at this. See right here where it shows, that's where the impact of the solar flare is happening right now, right? And then it'll go, this diagram here will show the intensity. And then the top and the bottom will be bright red. Red is like the most intense. And this will be like what they call polar absorption. And it'll stick around for a long time. If it didn't actually to make it through to us, then that wouldn't occur. Oh, by the way, check out that solar flare. See how fuzzy it is right there, right on this image? Here, let me make it bigger. The reason that it's so fuzzy like that is that's all of the solar energy moving through the satellite that's taking the image, taking the picture of it. So all of that fuzziness, it's like snow. It's like, bruh, that's all the stuff that's on its way here. So it's kind of interesting. So I don't know. I don't always, they may be trying to make us feel calmer. I don't know. The perfector, or the P factor. I realized when ants bite me, I am sending my DNA back to Earth. That's really cool. That's really cool. There's a lot about ants going on right now. My daughter's also making a ant video. She's going to post soon. The done feelings, the confirmation of the turning point, centaur point. It's the change. It's interesting that you also spelled it that way too, because there's this big thing about Dune, the book, as well as the movies that's coming in. I actually just tried to watch that. I'm working on it. I'm not the person that sits and watches the movie. Watches. It feels like that's a wrong word, but that's correct. And so it's done is constant change. That's really cool. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you very much. And a reminder too, we are moving into this coming full moon. I just want to bring it up again because there's going to be a lot of sensationalized fear. Hey, 111 people watching. There's going to be a lot of fear mongering going in regarding the 19th or the next full moon. It's 2, 3, 4 also at this time. A lot of, and then I looked up and I had been on for 33 minutes and 33 seconds. That's so cool. Anyway, there is a lot happening on that day where this Aquarian moon is going to be the first of 4 super moons. It's also a blue moon, so a super blue moon. And I remember when we had it last August, I think it was like the 29th or the 30th of last August, a year ago, when it happened. Then everybody made such a big deal about it. It's like, this is a once in a lifetime event. It happened again the next year, like, really? There's a lot of once in a lifetime events occurring. I've been noticing in my daughter's 9 years of life. She's had dozens and dozens and dozens of once in a lifetime celestial events occurring. So it's kind of almost a joke. Yeah, Barbara, thank you for bringing this up. It is like morning sickness. Feel like crap the first half of the day and then start feeling better closer to the evening. And of course, cannot sleep, but then wake up feeling like crap again. I can say the echo, the morning sickness thing. A lot of people have been talking about this. I had it come in a little bit a couple of days ago. Just waking up and just feeling, you know, kind of slightly sick to your stomach when you first waking up. And then it subsides and you're able to kind of balance in the energy. And it does feel like you're spending a lot of time balancing your energy throughout the day, more than usual, just to kind of get a basic centered space. Oh, I just skipped. I missed, I don't know. Well, I'm just going to grab the next one. Um, Sending love and light to all from a rather shadowed Israel, Palestine. Thank you for sending the love. It's really, all of us are finding that as we move through these energies, and that all of the stuff that's happening on a world stage, as well as all of those other aspects, are things playing themselves out. Things need to unravel, because it's like we've been tightly wrapped, like the core of a watch. I don't know. Watches don't do that anymore. They're mostly digital, but the old watches, I almost said real, where it was like this really thin copper plate that was wound really, really tightly. And then when you pull it out, at first the outside just kind of unravels itself, and then it cycles back to the middle, and then the middle starts to unravel itself, and then the outside starts to, and before you know it ends up being this much bigger, larger thing. As we're doing, that's what we're doing right now. And so when it echoes back and starts to bounce back again, and start to pick up momentum again, that's when we feel it. It's like, ooh, that's when we feel that energy coming in. And so understanding what we're doing really helps us to be in the moment that we're in, and to not invest in any of these stories, and I'm not saying that anything is or isn't happening. What I'm saying is, what we focus on creates the thing. So if I'm focusing on something, then it will make it be more pronounced, whatever it is. And so like y'all said, y'all Blum, I think is how you pronounce that, I'm not sure, is, sending love and then stepping aside, not investing in any particular thing that's occurring at this time. The world stage is a lot going on right now that's trying to, hey, look over here, feel scared, kind of stuff. And I'm guided so much into self and to be in this love place. Agreed. It is tricky to be flexible with the dune change energies. Yeah, it is tricky. And allowing yourself to be flexible. It's exactly right. Ralph says, bouncing back after the flares. At first, it really floored me for many days. Now it's just a few days. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more coming in too. Like right now, we're in a geomagnetic storm. We're having a freak storm here too. I was out dancing in the rain before we came in, and I came in to start this. I was like, oh no, it's time to go right now. But there's a lot of being in a place of play. That's really the answer to all this stuff. It's just to be in play. Let yourself be in joy and let yourself play. Be in, when we're in play, we're in this childlike place, then all of everyone else's stories don't matter. It's what's really happening here. And in that centered place, nothing can really mess with you. Yeah, it can throw you off for a minute, but think about a kid playing outside. They trip and they skin their knee. And, they cry. They cry with their whole heart. And the whole neighborhood knows that something's gone down. That snot bubbles and all kinds of stuff. However, when they're done with that, when they're done crying, they just wipe their eyes and go back to skipping down the path again. They go back to playing with their Tonkas and their big wheels, and those of us who have grown up, we don't do that anymore. We hold on to those emotions. We hold on to that moment and don't let it come out. And so then it's everything that we do is tainted, is flavored by that thing, that unsettled energy, that unpleasant thing that happened for decades or lifetimes in some cases. And the goal here is to let it come out, to express it, to create and express. Express is to purge. Did you know that? The word express means to purge something. And so to let the emotions move through and out, you don't have to hold on to them and declare ownership. You know what I mean? And so then you can know what your next experience truly feels like. It's not flavored by yesterday's sorrows and tomorrow's dreams. It's flavored by now. And now is awesome. And it can be even more awesome when we're in the moment of it. So it's it's a balance. We learn how to do this. It's something that we learn how to do over time. Um, Definitely feeling, knowing, seeing it's done, says Diamond Heart 888. For real now, and all will unfold as by design, resting, relaxing, trusting, self TLCing as much as possible while massive purge continues. Definitely tired too. Yeah. And allowing yourself to rest. It's okay to rest. It really is. Those of us who are in the world of, if you're going to work, if you're going to a corporate situation or something like that, especially, you know, you can use a bathroom stall. You can say, I gotta go to the bathroom, take a break. It only takes a few minutes to really find your center. Breathing in the light of God through the nose, holding it for a moment as you draw the energy up from your root chakra, your sacral, moving into the area where you're collecting all of this beautiful love, light energy. It's usually collected around the area between the heart chakra and the solar plexus. Combining that energy there, holding it for a moment, and then releasing through your mouth. And as you release, you purge, you release through your mouth all the things that are not in harmony with you. And as we release that, it creates more vacancy for this love energy that's coming in already to find a seat and to sit into your energy and to be part of who you are and where you are in this energy space. And then to do it again. And to cycle this in repetition for, a few minutes is going to help. But if you can do this through, for longer, of course, it becomes more impactful. Though when you're in a work situation, not always is that available to you. So, a few minutes, the finding your zero point so you can be recharged and to do your thing again. Allowing yourself to close your eyes while you're doing this, we'll find that we'll feel rejuvenated at least slightly more than we were before. And so what you're doing, it's a charging station. You're plugging into spirit and you're saying, okay, I'm taking in this and I'm saying goodbye to that, and just because we're expelling or we're saying goodbye to something doesn't mean it's bad. It just wasn't helping us the most, as much as the energy that we're bringing in can at that time. Oh, ants, yippee, right? Elsa's going to be getting sprayed for a week after. Maddie's been working on this video. She's so cute. So those of you who don't know, my daughter has a YouTube channel now. She makes cartoons that are coded. So if you actually watch them, you'll see that there's a lot of code. I don't guide her. I don't coach her in any way. It's really fun to see what comes through. Right now, she's doing one about ants and the scent, ant sense. And it's this whole thing. And so it's really kind of fun, but she's not letting me watch it or see what she's doing, but it's going to be the longest one she's ever made. So, Dune is ever changing sands, right? And the sands are what we use to make the mirrors, right? Sending love to everyone. So good to see you, Kara. Good job. It's coming. Good job. But it's good to see you. I'm glad you came. Good job coming. Hi from New Zealand, lovely lady. Good to see you, Daniel. Welcome. Yesterday, says Claire Ken. Yesterday, a car wrecked in front of me. Rig. Sorry. Okay. A car rig in front of me said, boy, 888. Don't we know it? Wow. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. This is a 8-year for those of you who, so like 2 + 0 + 2 + 4, that's the year that we're in, apparently. That equals 8, right? So it's an 8-year. And the fact that we're in August, the 8th month, I mean, officially, but not really. Though that makes every day be a palindrome, at least many of the days be a palindrome. Like today is 8118 because I live in the States where we do the month first. And so it's just kind of, there's a lot of energy that's going to be coming through. Then we'll also notice that on the calendar, just like 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 in the numerology way of looking at numbers, we'll also add up the days that go together. So for instance, the 17th, that's another 8, so that's another 888, stuff like that. It's kind of cool. So, keeping that in mind, that assists us in understanding what's happening in the different moments that we're in. So chocolate, cacao, world needs more. Yes, with these tricky energies. We've been doing this cacao thing for a little while. Dark chocolate and cacao. Lovely Stacy brought cacao from England, and for the gathering we had in December, and she left it with me before she went back to England, and it was such a big bag. I thought I had it next to me. It's probably there. Is that we've been able to use it for some time now, and it's been really cool. The idea behind any of these things in ceremony, whether it's you think, okay, it's just a chocolate bar, like what we're doing with it, how we interact with it before we take it into our bodies, it really does change the experience, and I really like the cacao concept because we're preparing it. And when you're preparing it, you're stating your intention in some way, energetically, whether you're thinking about it, the process of you're doing it with love. You have this, I'm planning to bring this to my family to provide this energy of love for them. It really changes the frequency of what it is that you're about to ingest, and does make it be some type of powerful concoction of love that really uplifts everybody involved. So if you do have the opportunity to do this cacao, what we'll do is we'll shred it, and there people, everyone who's going to be part of it will participate in some way. You heat up some milk. We usually use almond milk, and then as as it heats up, then you add the cacao to it, and then add some honey, and this now becomes like a hot chocolate. Though the whole time that we're doing it, and we're stirring, anti-clockwise, counterclockwise when we're doing it, we're investing, we're sending our love into the energy of what we're about to do. And then you drink that and you feel the love of it. You feel it. It's really cool. And, our bodies really do need it, or it helps our bodies to have this, at least dark chocolate. So Eric says, I'm all good, by the way. Good. Took 24 hours to process. Surprised by how hard Lionsgate hit me. As a big one. This was a really big one. The only place I'm going is 5D with y'all. Good. The resistance is greatest just before the breakthrough. Yeah, that's right. Just as on my reflections on March was the same. I was just like, what more can I help? What more can I contribute to the world? I think that I've just about covered it. Like, I still will go there. I'll still think to myself, like, how many times can I repeat the Ascension Symptoms and have it help anybody? And then I come back out of my whatever I'm in, and I get to see that, yeah, it's actually helping a lot of individuals. There's a lot of people in the awakening experience right now that don't know that they're not alone. They don't know what's going on, and those of us who do, we still need to hear that we're not alone, that there are others who are also in this experience, who are also going through the similar things, if not identical to our own experience, so yeah, more cacao. That's a really good idea. I saw, here we go. The P Factor says learning to surf the plasma waves. I love that. And the plasma is what's coming down from the sun for us right now. In fact, we might be out of the geomagnetic storm at this point. I haven't looked at it for almost an hour now, but we were in a G2 geomagnetic storm. It had gone from a G1 to a G2 and was kind of fluctuating at that point. And, we're going to be getting more of these over the next, month, especially in the next few days. If you look at the projected model of what was going to have the impacts of the solar flares that we got, there was 4 in total that has kind of left the sun almost like popcorn, pop, 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 pop. And so it moved into Wednesday, where we're going to be having them pretty much. You'll have a break, and then there's another one, and a little bit of a break, and another one starting already. And then we're going to keep going. So those are ones that have already left the sun, and I haven't looked for a few minutes or about an hour. So there's probably going to be more going through. So staring at Sirius before sunrise each morning brings me so much joy. That is so cool. That is so cool. Sirius, the energy of that sun is very, very powerful, particularly at this time. The more that we can be in solitude and silence and be in this kind of reflection kind of way will assist us at this time. Remembering again on the 14th, on Wednesday. So that will be Thursday for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere. The 15th, for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, is there'll be a conjunction, a father and son conjunction. This will be Jupiter and Jupiter and Mars. That's Zeus and Aries. The conjunction is within about a third of a degree. We're very close to one another, so it's going to be really cool to see this conjunction occurring. I've every time that there's a conjunction, you can find. It's really weird, I know. However, it's traceable. You can find this documented in religious texts, not only the Bible, but in a whole bunch of different things throughout our history. I was guided by Spirit back in January to start paying more attention to the conjunctions, because the conjunctions tell the story. The as above, so below. You'll see the reflections of the people in the stories of the Bible too, that have been told are occurring in the heavens and the celestial bodies overhead. So it's really neat, and to pay attention to that, it's exciting. And there are a lot of different things happening on that day. So, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're able to join us. So nice to join in this high vibe community. Well, thank you for being a part of this. And anyone who wants to continue a conversation after we're not live, there's also a community group called the Light Bearers. We are called the Light Bearers because of my memory of these plates that were made of light, basically, but they weren't really light. They were glowing, I guess, like light. And that we're moving up this light tower, this lighthouse, and it was made of crystal. And these plates, we were all holding them, and they all had different insignias and stuff on it, and we were plate bearers. And so that's why I call us called that group the Light Bearers. But that's in the Telegram group, and there's a link in the description of this video if you'd like to join and be in more in a community space. It's really awesome. I think we're getting close to 500 people in that group, and there's all these different sections and little side conversations happening. It's just really nice to be able to connect to people, and there's people from all over the planet. So typically there's somebody awake, no matter what time. When you reach out and say, hey, I'm having this experience, anyone else? There'll usually be at least people putting the heart or the love or whatever on what you had written, me too, me too, me too as well. So I am noticing that it's really weird. I don't know what's going on with there's a lot of tech issues going on. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing it, but it just jumped really far down. So if I missed anybody else, if there's something if you had a question that you wanted me to answer, please write it again and I'll check it out. Anti-clockwise, sense a new way. Ooh, thank you, Elsa. I love that code. Neutrino energy, says Maurice. Yeah. There's some really cool energies coming in for us right now. Zeus has been coming up a lot for Kara a lot lately. Yeah, there's a lot of this. Yeah, look at this one. I like that, the P factor. Zeus is considered the father, right, of Aries. And so as this conjunction happens on the 14th for this northern hemisphere and the 15th for the southern hemisphere. I'm anticipating an awesome energy at that time. That's also a day that we're expecting to be getting a lot of solar activity. That's also when, everyone knows too, probably at this point, that that Mercury's in retrograde. And that moves into Leo at that time. So then there's like a lot more of this Leo energy happening right then. We're moving from the Leo season into the Virgo season, but we're still in this real profound Leo energy. Also, too, this full moon, the I just love that it's a super blue moon again, and the same month a year ago we had the same thing, and it's supposed to be so rare. But that particular moon is on Aquarius, so that's useful to know. All this Aquarian energy has been coming in. All of these things really do make sense if you kind of pull back and see what each characteristic is that's bring this new awesomeness to the table. Made me think of tectonic plates when you said about plates. Oh yeah. There's a lot about this. There's a lot about thank you for bringing that up. There's a lot about the plates, and the fact that, I don't know if they intentionally misguided the information that we know about at this time, or they just didn't know what they were talking about. But we're starting to understand a lot more about what's actually occurring on the planet and what had occurred. The Arcturians came in for me. They don't come in very frequently, but this was the most profound one of all of them, of the Arcturian messages, is they came in and it felt real random. The most profound messages are typically seem random, where, I was just kind of sitting in almost a semi-meditation. I was just kind of vegging, I guess, more than anything else. And all of a sudden my voice said it, like that kind of a awesome channel moment. And they said, "We are currently correcting your history. Please stand by." But it wasn't like my voice. Like, it was my voice, but it was like very loud and echoey and very just, I slur all the time and all this stuff. They were very clear. And it was just a fascinating, wow, yeah. Your history is currently being corrected. That's what it said. Please stand by. I was just like, wow, that's pretty neat. And so as our history is being corrected, that also has to do with what we're doing. We're closing timelines. These pathways are being, the awesomeness of each pathway is being brought into the now, and then what's left behind that doesn't serve us is being closed away. I would go say goodbye to it. And we're like merging. It's like all of these rings, all of this going all together at the same time. And then it's like one big awesome tube. And now it's like this, it doesn't make sense. I don't think that how I'm saying it. It's meant to, this is what it looks like. Time doesn't exist. It looks like we're standing in the middle of this awesome orb, and you can touch any point at any time. I don't know how to do that in this body, but leaving this body and in astral and stuff, there's a lot of really cool stuff about that. Yeah, the light bearers, it's really cool. Any of you who aren't part of that group, I don't get anything out of it, and it comes to monetary value or anything like that. It's just that it's a community space that I didn't have, and I felt like I would have liked to have that when I was trying to figure this stuff out, and so creating this space for people to communicate and to connect with one another is really a useful thing. So celebrating us. Yes, human is the hero. Our graduation, the grand rising. That's right. Repeat things of 2023, training for 2024. Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff that's just like, didn't we do this last year? Wait, you sure? Are you sure we didn't do this last year? Play 8s, play in 2024. Plates. Oh, I see. Yeah, I like that. Why won't it let me? There we go. Plates. I like that. Thank you for saying that. Like play dates. You guys are so awesome. Stand by. I love that. Yeah, yeah. It was just like, please stand by. And I was like, oh, and then it was gone. And then the message was over. And I could still feel the echo, the quake inside my heart center. And it was like, wow, okay. I've always been very big into history. I've always loved history. And that was my biggest difficulty entering the school system. I didn't enter school until I was 14. The world didn't know I existed until I was 14. And I was so excited above everything else. I was really excited about history class. And I got into history class and the lady was lying. And I was like, what? I was she was telling a story that perhaps she was told was true. I don't know if she was a liar herself or whatever, but the stories that she was telling about what history was incorrect, and it was difficult for me, and so to hear this, that our history, the way we understand it truly is in our hearts, those things that you always kind of went, wait, what, are actually being corrected and then also undone. Some elements that perhaps did occur are being undone, so that's really neat. Timeless. I like that. Repeat in the echo, one's sitar spin. Ooh. She also says 8 is asterisk on keyboard. Act star. Ooh. Oh my goodness. You guys are so awesome. Yes, plasma's plates can speed up and slow down. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And as we're doing this, you'll notice that our spinal region, the plates in our spine, are each one has a variety of chakras in each vertebrae. So you have like these, they're like the chunks of bones that make up your spine, right? The vertebrae. Each one has its own series of chakras, and a lot of those chakras have been kind of like paused, is a better way of explaining it, and and we're unpausing it. We're turning it back on, and as we're turning all of these things back on, there's a variety of activations that occur, and one of those things we'll find is that we'll feel ourselves kind of becoming taller and taller and taller and taller. It feels like you are. I'm not saying, I don't know. We may be truly becoming taller. I haven't measured myself for a while, but it does have the sensation of that. So it's just really, really neat. Anyway, I should probably get going because I hear my kiddo out there. She's probably wondering where I'm at. We are in this amazing energy right now. And, I know that it feels sometimes like you just want it to be over with, that, oh my goodness, can I handle any more of this? And I'm here to reassure you that that we're getting to a place, we're coming into a place where it's going to become much more manageable, and as it's more manageable, then we'll get to start to see what it actually is meant to be giving us, why we're having these experiences, and that it's meant to assist us rather than causing us discomfort. It's not meant to hurt us. It's growing pains. Growing pains. Remember the achy pains we'd get when we were growing up, when we were getting taller and moving into an adult body? Well, we're doing that right now too. It's just in a different form. So, and it's something that medical science doesn't discuss as much. And so it feels like we're going crazy sometimes. And so I just wanted to echo back to all of you that you're not alone and you're not crazy. You're not crazy. There are many, many, many of us out here who are all experiencing this ascension experience with you at this time. You got this. Oh, thank you, Vegan Vixen. She wrote it. You got this. We've got this. We do. Together as one. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining today. And I will see you on Wednesday. During the Wednesday window of all this and energy that's coming in, we're going to have a conversation. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Nancy coming in, but I haven't gotten the confirmation response. So one way or another, I'll see you at the same time on Wednesday. Sending you all so much love.